Make today iconic. What is up, guys? It's Upcome Sports, back with the New Orleans Pelicans super realistic rebuild series. We're doing the final part of this series in this episode. Here are the objectives for the Pelicans for this video. This is the final part, so if you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, make sure to click the links in the description. But here's the draft lottery, and we do have the 29th pick in the draft. And with this pick, we are going to take Fred Hamilton, a shooting guard out of St. John's, 226 pounds, 6'5". He should be a bench player at some point in this video. So you guys voted, and we are going to be rebuilding this team. Complete rebuild around Darius Garland and Curry. Hopefully he can reach that 95 potential he has, but Anthony Davis wants no part of our team. So since we could not sign and trade Anthony Davis, we are going to be trading Randall for a younger player, a younger power forward. As you guys know, Randall is a All-NBA type caliber player. He did make the All-NBA third team. He's already an All-Star, and he's established himself as a really good player in this league. We're also going to give the Nets Wilson McGetty. They need a center, and we're going to receive back Jared Allen. We're also going to throw in a second-round pick, Jared Foster. Michael Foster, I believe, is going to be a pretty good player in the NBA. He does have really good potential, and we also need a solid center. But D'Angelo Russell needs a second option. They provide him no help for this franchise for the past 8 or 9 years. So it's finally time that they get him a second guy that he can go to. Second option on this team. So here is the roster after trading Julius Randle. Darius Garland, Murphy is going to start. We've got a lot of good young pieces here that we can build around, and hopefully we can lose a lot of games because we're not ready to compete in the playoffs. Hamilton we would send to the G League, but here's the rotation. Garland is going to be getting a lot of minutes along with Adrian Murphy. Curry we're going to try to progress, even though he is pretty old right now. We did draft him at 23 years old, so I don't know if he's going to reach his full potential. If not, that's going to be pretty sad, but so already a pretty big setback for our team here. Calvin Curry is going to be out for about 6 to 8 weeks with a broken leg, and that's going to set his progression back a little bit. So hopefully he can come back and regain his posture and be able to progress, because we do need him to become a superstar. So it's been about a month and a half, and Calvin Curry is back and ready to play. So we'll get him back into this rotation, and hopefully he can start to progress. And he was having an improved season from his rookie season. So here at the trade deadline, we're going to see how we're doing and see if we need to make any trades. We're actually 20-35, so we are really bad, but it is the East, so we're only 5 games back of the playoffs. I don't think we're going to make it, so hopefully we can get a top 5 pick. So for this season, Stephen Curry again wins MVP. That's like his 50th MVP. Anthony Davis on the Atlanta Hawks. He did sign for $6 million, which is just absurd. He's ring chasing at this point, along with signing with Trae Young. But Michael Foster did win Most Improved, so that's very nice. We did get some value for Julius Randle there. And Michael Foster also made an All-NBA team. So already replacing Randall, that's looking like it was a really good trade for us. Randall was also on the All-NBA team, so the Nets did get a very good player. Hans Meyer on the All-Rookie team, along with Bryant Porter. Hans Meyer was overseas for 3 years, if you guys remember that. So he did come over here, and he was ready right away. But we did finish very low seed. As you guys can see, we're going to have a high chance at a top 3 pick. The Thunder were actually the worst team in the West with Westbrook and Paul George. And the Raptors the worst team in the East with Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry. But checking out the player stats, Adrian Murphy with a pretty dang good season, averaging close to 20 points per game. And Darius Garland did get injured towards the end of the season, but nothing too big. Did step up in his role as the number 1 option. But Curry did improve. I don't expect him to reach his full 95 potential. So it's going to be a Bucks-Warriors finals, and the Warriors take a 3-1 lead, and the Warriors win it somehow. I don't know how, but they do. And Steph Curry averaged nearly 50 in the finals. He dropped 65 in this closeout game. Curry is a god on 2K. So here in the draft lottery, we're projected the 3rd pick. Let's see if we get lucky. We do move up 1 spot, so that's going to be pretty nice. So with this pick, we are going to go with need over best available, and we're going to take Lamont Norman. Should have pretty good potential, but we'll see. And he's already going to be solid as of his rookie year, so I think it's a solid pick. So here's the roster after the offseason. We did manage to re-sign Darius Garland to a pretty big deal, 5 years with a player option. We didn't give him the max because he's not a max type player, but Adrian Murphy we also brought back on about 14 million per year. But Norman does have really good potential for a second round, for the number 2 overall pick. And we are going to check out the rotation here. Darius Garland, Murphy, Curry again, Foster, Norman, Meyer. Pretty solid all-around team. We just need that superstar to build around, which I thought was going to be Curry, but it looks like his potential is going to be shooting down. So we're here at the trade deadline. No major injuries to talk about, but we are 23-30, so we're not as bad as last season. And I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. We should be having another lottery pick. And here, our first, I wouldn't say big injury. It's just Mike Muscala getting injured. So we're just going to replace him with whoever. And we're not even competing, so it doesn't matter. So Mike Muscala has healed his injury. There's about 2 games left in the season. Nothing big. We'll just put him back into the rotation. So for the season, Kyrie Irving wins the MVP. Don't know the rookies by this point. Anthony Davis, again, Defensive Player of the Year. And Michael Foster on an All-NBA team. He's already an 88 overall, so this trade's looking better and better with Randall. And Adrian Murphy also on an All-NBA team, averaging 20 points per game on very efficient shooting, especially from 3. So, I don't know, Adrian Murphy looks like the replacement to Drew Holiday. Probably not as good of a defender, but he can fill it up. Norman on the all-rookie team, averaging some pretty good numbers. Fred Hamilton off the bench, also some really good numbers. And checking out the standings, we did miss the playoffs, but we were a bit better. We were the 11th seed this time, so we're definitely improving, which I like to see in a young team. But let's check out the player stats. Adrian Murphy led us in scoring. Darius Garland did step it up, averaging 19 points per game, almost 20. Calvin Curry improving again, but as you guys can see, he's already very old. He's reached probably his prime. So it is going to be a Celtics-Blazers finals, and we're going to see what happens. Kyrie Irving was the MVP, so let's see if he can close it out and win a championship. He does win in 7 games. He wins the finals MVP as well. So here in the draft lottery, we're projected the 8th pick. Let's see if we can jump into the top 3. And we actually get the number 1 pick in the draft. That's going to be huge for us. Speeds up the rebuild process. And let's see what we're going to take. So here in the draft, with the number 1 overall pick, we are going to take Otis Patrick, small forward. Curry is really not the answer for us, so hopefully Otis Patrick has some good potential. He looked like the most NBA ready, so we're going to take him. So here's our roster after the draft and free agency, and we're looking pretty good. We're still very young. Otis Patrick actually was the most NBA ready. He is an 84 overall already, but he only has 85 potential, so not the best pick, but he is going to help us out right away. We did manage to sign Draymond Green, if you guys did not see that, but he's already really old, so he's not going to be playing for us at all. And yeah, the rotation's looking pretty nice. Pretty much the same as last year, just Otis Patrick is going to start at small forward, and we're going to send Sergio Chavez, our 2nd round pick, to the G League, but system proficiency is still 7 seconds. So our first injury of the year is Bryant Porter. He has a broken right leg, so he's going to be out for a while. So we're just going to sub in Greg Monroe here for his 10 minutes, which is not too big. So approaching the All-Star break, it looks like Bryant Porter is back. So he'll get his 10 minutes a night back, and we'll go back to playing the same basketball. And in 2026, we managed to get another All-Star. This time he is on Team Anthony Davis. How ironic, but it is Michael Foster, who we did trade for Julius Randle. So that's pretty nice. So we're here at the trade deadline, and we're going to check out how we're doing. I'm not sure how we're doing. We're actually fighting for the number 2 seed right now. We are 32-24, shooting 41% from 3. League best, I would imagine. But that's pretty nice. Let's see what happens. So for this season, it looks like Giannis is going to win the MVP. Otis Patrick, Rookie of the Year. As I said, he's the most NBA ready. He's just not going to get any better than he already is. Kind of like what Tyreke Evans was for the Kings. And Foster again on the All-NBA team. All-NBA second. And it looks like Adrian Murphy did not make an All-NBA team this time. But Otis Patrick on the All-Rookie team. Obviously, it was Rookie of the Year. Standings, we were a bit better. It actually came down to the wire. We had to win the last game of the season to make the playoffs, and we actually lost to the Rockets, I believe. So the Clippers did get in, barely. But let's check out the player stats and see how everyone did. Adrian Murphy again leading us in scoring. And Darius Garland getting the assists out there, also scoring pretty nicely. Otis Patrick with a pretty good rookie season. Calvin Curry just never filled his potential. He was drafted at a very old age, so he was never able to become a superstar, but he's still a pretty good role player. So it's going to be a Suns and Celtics finals. Celtics back-to-back finals. Can they win back-to-back titles? It looks like the Suns actually win DeAndre Ayton finals MVP. Here in the draft lottery, it looks like we have the 12th projected pick, and we do stay at 12 this time. We don't get lucky, but we've already been lucky enough. And with the 12th pick, we are going to take Clint Ward, and yet another small forward out of Georgia. We do have a lot of small forwards, but he was the best available, so we're going to go with him at pick 12, and we'll see what happens. So here is the roster for probably the final season, unless we don't make the playoffs. If we make the playoffs, it'll probably be the final season. We'll give it one more run, but as you guys can see, Calvin Curry his potential is now at just 81, which is okay considering the place we drafted him. But Clint Ward does have some pretty good potential if we were to continue this series. But here's the rotation, very solid. Our bench is actually really good. I really like our bench. And system proficiency is going to be the same, 7 seconds. So we'll keep it the same. And here it looks like we have an injured point guard, Hans Meyer, our German point guard. Probably in the 6th man of the year conversation. Is going to be injured, so Jalen Brunson is going to fill in. And another pretty big hit to our bench. Bryant Porter is going to be out for a pretty long while with a torn muscle. So Greg Monroe again will fill his spot, and that shouldn't mean too much of a dip. Jalen Brunson actually filled in pretty nice for Meyer, but he's going to be back and he'll get his spot back. But we are going to give Hamilton more minutes than him so that he can slowly work his way back to the 6th man role. And yet again, Michael Foster is going to be an all-star in 2027. So he'll be on Team DeAndre Ayton. That is not DeAndre Jordan against Team Giannis. So here at the trade deadline, we're going to check out how we're doing. And we're actually the number 1 seed, winning 39 games and 17 losses. During this stretch, shooting 40% from 3. We're a very good 3-point shooting team. So hopefully we can keep it up towards the end of the season. And it looks like Bryant Porter is back. He'll go back to the bench and get his 10 minutes a night. And Greg Monroe, thank you for your service. And we are approaching the playoffs, and this is a big hit to our team. Otis Patrick, our starting small forward, who's playing really good, scoring at that role, is going to be out for a bit, so he might miss the first round of the playoffs, and Curry's going to fill that role. So for this season, finally someone not named Giannis or Curry is going to win the MVP. RJ Barrett, but there you guys see the awards. Jacob Underwood for the Heat, winning Coach of the Year. Michael Foster on the All-NBA first team, playing like a stud, 92 overall now, surpassing Randall's overall, so looking like a very good trade for us, but the Nets had to make a deal. And Michael Foster also on the all-defensive second team, something Randall did not do. And checking out the standings, we did take the number 1 seed, so we were able to maintain. We didn't have that many injuries, just the Otis Patrick one. And we're looking pretty good heading into the playoffs. In the first round, we're playing the Lakers. No LeBron, that's a good thing. They're playing Josh Hart at small forward. I don't know how good that's going to be for them. But Darius Garland leading us in scoring. Adrian Murphy, second leading scorer. Pretty good all-around stats. Here's the rotation for the playoffs. Pretty much the same. Curry is just going to fill in that Otis Patrick role. And Clint Ward, the rookie, getting some minutes as well. So here's the Lakers roster. Lonzo Ball is their best player. Josh Hart, Donovan Mitchell they did sign actually. So that's pretty nice for them. They have a good scorer. So we'll try to stop that as best we can. So let's get right into this playoff series. As the number 1 seed, no way we can lose in the first round. If we do, this video is over. The Pelicans just can't win. But we're going to tie it up 1-1. We did lose game 1. We do take a 2-1 lead. Can we go 3-1? Nope, 2-2. And game 6 that was, they do take a huge lead, 3-2. So Simcast, are we going to lose in 6 here? Would be a absolute failure. And it's a close game, but we're still down. We might have to hop in here and try to save it. So I decided to hop in with about a minute 20 left, down 8. No way. Lonzo just stole that. And already starting off horrible. That was a horrible pass. That might be it. Down 10 now. We're going to have to get some quick scores. Lonzo, a very good defender. Couldn't get past them. We're going to try to get a 3 here. Ooh, open 3. Bad release. Still hits it. So we're actually down 9 here with about 45 seconds left. We get another quick 3. That was a okay look. Not great release, so he missed it. And this game's pretty much over. Just trying to get some buckets at this point. Oh, nice block. Nice block. But he still gets the bucket. Yeah. We blew it. We blew it with that inbound pass that was stolen by Lonzo for the easy bucket. We maybe had a chance down 8, but it was still pretty tough. Going to the free throw line here with Murphy. First free throw is good. Second free throw. Missed it. That's just how this game has gone. But losing to the Lakers in the first round as the AC. Good steal, Garland, is definitely a disappointment. And good feed. Oh, he said get off him. So here, Donovan Mitchell with 21 points. Shot 0 for 4 from 3. Got to the free throw line. And no one really took over for the Lakers, but no one took over for us either. Darius Garland didn't have a good game. Calvin Curry just absolutely choked, never reaching his full potential. So the Hawks and the Suns are going to be in the finals. Suns, I believe, made it last year as well. Are they going to win back-to-back titles? They do. DeAndre Ayton, finals MVP. So I did my best to try to get the Pelicans to the finals at least once. We couldn't do it with Anthony Davis and the core that we built around him. Even though we did get the 1 seed a bunch of times, we couldn't do it with a complete rebuild. We even got the 1 seed with that team, and we just couldn't do it. So this is a failure for this rebuild. And make sure to comment who we should do next. As always, thank you guys for watching, and make sure to subscribe for some more videos.